Oh, and we're live.
All right, hey, it's Autograders Pairing with Sam and Paul. All right, so well, good thinking last night. Um, yes, I had got worried that you were futilely making changes to the staging grader or something
Right,
in
right.
in the forlorn hope that it would you know fix the issue. And I was thinking, no, 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 no. And then yeah, it hadn't occurred to me that you could point it to. But we were in principle ready, as I think you surmised, to take the new production grader into production. And with the old grader down, that was a sensible thing to do, because since we needed to switch it over anyway. This is the full 2003, 2013 grader, which is now, I mean, I noticed that was down. I pushed that back up at about the same time that you swapped things over. So that has the advantage that for students, I guess, for the students who had already submitted things onto that queue, me bringing this back up would also have returned results to them, because if it,
Right.
yeah, because so what your system would have an influence on would be
They would have to
new,
resubmit.
new submissions. So anyway, so it's good that, but and this there's some other classes which also um,
I
do
talked to
this.
Jones, Mr. Jones about it. We were trying to, yeah, I just wanted to make sure at least people would get their points, and
Sure.
that they wouldn't have to go through a resubmit that they would need to be informed about. You know,
Mm, mm.
so that we considered, and then we tested on Mr. Jones. Quickly opened it
Yeah.
up. He did one, and it worked. So
I always think of Mr. Johns, but
Mr. Jones. Yeah.
I don't know. Is that see, in the UK to be Mr. Jones would be Jones, but maybe it's
Right.
different pronunciation in the US. I don't know.
Jones.
Mm, yes, I mean I don't know that the either approach would. I mean, only bringing to the extent that the grader had pulled. It's not weird. Like I guess. Well, again, so we've had this. I mean, just to talk briefly about.
Yeah.
We've got this command, which basically keeps looping. I would have thought that if this process crashes, right, it
Yeah.
should just be restarted. But somehow, this particular error causes it to crash. I don't know. Maybe whoever created this or what this while true do done doesn't do what we think that does is doing.
I think
Will do.
also, well, is that the actual response that it's returning, or is it? I guess it is, huh?
I mean, this is. I mean, if you run a Ruby process on a command line and it crashes, this is the kind of output that you would get.
Mm-hmm.
And the prompt is returned. So that's I mean, running this basically leaves it in a kind of. I sort of assumed that what I would assume that I mean, this is like Bash script loop,
Yeah.
right? And it's, so it runs this and waits for it to return. And if it doesn't return, then it just sort of keeps that running. If this then ends as a process, it restarts it up. But I guess maybe there's like different exit codes, so maybe it can still just crash. Maybe this will only loop if it ends with I forget. I really don't. I don't know if I knew what the status. There's you know what I mean. Processes can end with status code 1 or 0 or what have you.
So when it says, so the actual response, I mean, I'm looking at the code here, and I see there's just like, I mean, it's just a matter of spaces, I guess, but the response that it's printing out is response status, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, is that status response status, is it bad status code error? Is that what we're looking at?
Oh, I don't know. But go back to shows that
Yeah.
bring that code back up so I can see the code in parallel with the thing on my side.
Oh,
So
I
we've
see.
got bad queue-length response.
Let me,
I mean, that response status that's coming through there is it's getting edX controller bad status code error.
yeah.
It's not really giving us any
Sorry.
particular useful. But I think the key thing there is just because it's got a bad queue length response, I don't think that means that we want to raise an exception that we don't then subsequently catch somewhere else. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
So that Although I don't know. I mean, I assume this is caused by some kind of response from the queue system that we don't understand yet. I mean, now we're in a position to like run our own queues. It's the kind of thing that we can investigate in a lot more detail than we have done in the past.
So let's see. I guess I should view active editor, show line numbers on line 74. I guess where it says response status. That looks like it's only got one space here. Maybe there's actually more, but now when you go and look, it looks like maybe the whole response is nil, or
well, I guess the interesting thing to look for here is actually in the logger. So if I here on the production grader, if I do Control A D and I go into RAG and we look into the log and we look at this the ls lat minus lat head or more. So the most recent log thing is this one, and we could do tail minus 10,000 LF. Now I think nobody should be really hitting this anymore. This I would guess is the last few grading things, but we could. It might be that we. I guess no. I guess this is going to be. I'm not sure. This is going to be anything else that was resting on this queue. Like this would have been, I guess, the process of draining that queue of the things that had already been submitted to it and had yet to be pulled off.
okay.
But so.
Queue length 0.
So I guess actually it would be if the error, if we would expect to find at the end of the previous log when the grader crashed. So if we look at that, there you go. So this is the that's a little bit more detail on the error. So basically we've got an HTTP internal server error there. But that doesn't. I mean, this is to a degree I mean, I think this is the kind of thing that we can continue to monitor. I mean, to the extent that we want to solve this, the simple thing in one approach is to test out graders that have, rather than throwing an exception here, they just put it to the logger. They don't raise the exception, and they keep running.
Or raise it and rescue it immediately with whatever.
Yeah, although I don't know that serves much purpose. Really. Yeah. I mean, I mean and I think what we want to do is we want to carefully test that in staging, and to try and replicate that. See, really, with this kind of error, we need. I think the danger of if we pushed a fix into production is that maybe when it happened again, the grader would end up in some sort of state that it would just be. It wouldn't go down, but it just wouldn't be running.
Right.
I mean, it would sort of wouldn't. I don't know. So ideally, we would love to be. And what I really want is to be able to just sort of snoop. I'd have an ongoing log of just the pure HTTP communication between the grader and the queue. Right. That's what I want, really. But
well, it looks like just bad status code error. So there's 500 on the server side, according to this.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's entirely possible that the response that the grader should be doing here is, rather than crashing, just logging it and then carrying on, and that would be fine.
Right. Isn't retry a keyword in Ruby?
I don't know. But
just kidding.
Oh, yogurt. But so I think while it's interesting to reflect on that, and that's certainly something to look into, and also, I mean, so did you? Well, it was myself and Brian and John who were all. I mean, we'd gone to the edX. Have you got set up with a running instance of edX yourself?
I haven't, but I did watch part of that video. Uh,
Yeah, I mean
the test engineer.
right. And the thing in particular to note is that basically you can, if you go and grab yeah, if you install a production or developer stack, a box locally, uh, 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 you can in principle, have queues running on your own machine,
Oh,
and access to the running queues and so on.
right.
So that's ultimately what I mean. In some ways, I can imagine in a brave and distant future a Travis CI that would check out the queues from what have you, and run them as part of the I mean, or no, not really. That would just be too much. That would be just be insane. But what we really want to be doing is trying to get a good set of stubbed responses that we can get from queues, right? So that we can check that the behavior of our, because that's basically all the code, almost all the code, as far as I can tell, that deals with the communication between the grader and the edX queues is just not tested at all.
Hmm.
We just have this legacy stuff with no tests on it, and yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, I just tried to look in the XQ repo to see what
repo.
their test clients might look like, but I didn't get too far on that yet.
Yeah, and I don't know what I think they did sort of suggest that there is some sort of testing over there, and it's separate from the other things. Or I should reply to that edX guy, but hmm, hmm. Anyhow, is that a song bin Laden? No, okay, right. Okay. Um, but so, dragging myself back to the things that I'm supposed to be focused on. I mean, not that this isn't. I mean, this is part of the bigger picture. But so I think I have just. I mean, course outline. Yes, ninefold. And there's no chat present there. Um, I think then I'll have to open a. I just don't. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, chat now. Well, I don't want to chat to them. I can't seem to log in using ninefold's CLI command 9gem. Um, how do I know what password is required? So that goes in the background. Servers, I don't know. Don't phone me. Okay. So let's take that off and get rid of all of these and go back up to here. And so I think I prepared all of these lecture bits. I think it's done. So I come on to homework to Ruby.
Yeah.
And so now, so you on the staging grader, you tested homeworks 1 through 4,
Yep.
and it all worked,
Yep.
which is totally awesome.
That is.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So I've got all of these in draft mode. Anyway, in the background, put that away. So this, I mean, yes, I know you took a screenshot of that. I can also paste, in principle, I can paste that into. And by the way, it looks like, I forgot, what's the name? Forgotten the name. Pivotal have fixed the issue with the ordering of my lots of public projects.
oh, good.
So I can go there
Power
and.
user.
Mm-hmm. I think I've probably got more public projects on Pivotal than anybody else, and so I'm encountering things that they didn't experience before.
Yeah.
Here we go. Logs have this. Right. Okay. So, right. Brain. Engage brain. Yes. I'm tempted just so I remember what it is, because this tells me that's the queue name is the production grader. So I'm put that over there and keep an eye on that. So somewhere I had all these other things. That's not Tetris. That's not what I didn't have to deal with that right now, or that one. Hum 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 hum. I thought so. I get into the situation where I think, oh, there we go. So so here that is the staging grader, right? So that's a staging grader. So you've got that set up, and it's all right. So are you in a screen session there on the staging grader?
I am not. I screened off the two processes, right, and then
Mm.
just
That you right.
restarted my machine at some point.
Have you got two separate screens that you created then, rather than creating two tabs with it? Like I think ideally the way one has it set up is like this, so that you have this. I have the grader running here.
Okay,
If I go Control A1, this is the spork.
gotcha.
But did you run screen twice to get two different screen instances?
I did.
Okay, I mean that's not the end of the world. I mean, I think that just it's convenient to have them in one thing there.
Right. Otherwise, I have to find like I don't
I mean,
know.
you just log in twice and then reattach to the two different processes and so on. But we can potentially, I guess, sensibly, what we do now is we run through the same sequence of tests on the production grader. Hmm. But right. So, but that's the other thing is, yeah, can we both be in the screen session at the same time? I'm in there. That would probably be, no, that's the other one. Do I not have? I have a third one there. What's this? Okay, that's the production grader. It was a different size. Production 2004. So we do have. Do we have? We have a screen session there. That's interesting. So we're also seeing that bad. See, this is the interesting thing here. See, we're also seeing the bad queue length response there,
Yeah.
but it seems to be restarting itself automatically.
I wish there was times on there, but yeah,
Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it? I
I
mean,
hope
we
it's not the
can.
all one.
I mean, I guess I think I can. Can I control A1? So how do I create no escape? I now have to remind myself how to create creating a tab in screen. Screen, Control A, tab. Getting out, help, window management. Create new window. Oh, okay. Control A, C. There we go. Right. So, in principle, then here we can see log ls minus lat like so. We can do tail minus 1000 lf. So this is the live grader. So then, of course, the annoying thing about doing this in screen is that you can't scroll,
Right.
and I totally always forget how to scroll in screen. Scroll. Control. You have to add the copy mode, and then how do you move
Control
up and
A.
down? Control A and then thing, or Control A escape, and then. But how do I move up and down with more than just a single? So I can, for example, I can do Control A escape, and then I can see. Then I can I can go up and down one at a time.
Arrow keys. Yeah.
Arrow keys, and we can go up. Which
Page.
is
Page up maybe.
I don't have a page up on my Mac here,
Gotcha.
but we could say screen scrolling page at a time. No. Oh, and then see, then it has like a series of things of like specified number of lines, percentage of blah, 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 percentage of the buffer. Blah, 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 blah. The following keys can be used in copy mode.
Oh, there it is. Control B, Control F.
Ah, okay, yes, right. Control B, Control F?
Well, Control B is before,
I
and
think,
down is
Control B, is that taking me up?
back,
Oh,
forward,
okay.
probably.
But so I think this is now an active. I guess if it's failing, can I? Copy mode aborted, and it's also there. Right. If I want to see the error message, I should look at. But so we can see that we can see the dates at which the times at which. I think when it fails, the log turns over. I mean, to an extent, if we remove this problem, you can see how the log files get enormous.
And look, they're flicking over one after another at May 8th midnight. It's boom, 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 right at midnight.
Yeah, I mean, here you go. This is and we've got timestamps here. That was there, April. But so we can see at the times of the log files tell us when it was going over. So I mean, this is like when the internet is basically is shorted out for some reason, and it just gets stuck. But so this is one, doing what we may more sensibly think that it does. Okay. Okay, so we've got this grid in production anyway. I feel what I want, or one of the things, many things that I want. I'm a needy sort of person. Is how do I know? I want to do like a systems administration course. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I want to do a course that's all about Unix top to bottom. I just want to understand everything about Unix in as much detail as possible. Do you know what I mean?
There's a lot to it.
There is. I mean, and it would, yeah. I can't find. It just seems like it's the key.
Oh, are you looking for time?
No, I mean, it's not that I want to do this like right now. An online course that covers Unix Linux systems programming. Ooh. And that's people like random. Oh, the certificate programming in Linux/Unix. You must allow. Paid. Closes off topic. God, what is its whole? I'm starting to get really pissed off with Stack Exchange. Online's. I mean, actually, I'm really actually not so bothered about programming. I feel like I know approximately programming. I'm not really interested in programming. Unix administration course. I mean, I feel like I am, half of what I do is administering certain Unix systems.
Yeah. And
I'd really like to know, like, how are they supposed to be administered? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Is this actually the entire course, or is this a handout on? Yeah. Okay. It would just be so nice to have, it's 10 years ago. But you know what I mean? Like, what's the best solution for? What are the approved solution for rolling log files? And hold on, let's turn that off. Okay.
You'd have to tar them at some point. Put them on tape, right? Or just delete them.
Put my headphones off. Hold on.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you'd have to tar them onto tape, ideally, if you had the commercial interest in it, or you could.
We could truncate it and blow them away after. I mean, to an extent.
Upload it to Google.
Yeah, but the log files are less important because actually the results that are pushed back are sent onto the EDX server itself.
Yeah.
If you notice here, right, this is actually the student submissions of code.
Right.
And so, in principle, one could be doing a huge analysis of what is the range of possible solutions that people are submitting, and which solutions do the majority of people, I mean, there's a whole wealth of data here that I think, just Amanda and Dave don't have the, research TAs or the research assistants to process.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, and I think for me, I'm kind of like, I'm actually much more interested in analyzing not so much the final solutions that people come up with, but the process that they use to get there. But anyway, that was just all the videos, which I don't know if I'll ever get access to, but well, at least the Berkeley people will have access to. In principle, if they want them, as a TA, I was going to email him. Oh, so many things and other things. Oh, you've got an email from Mondo. Did you see it?
Oh, was it today?
Just now, I think.
Oh.
Like 20 minutes ago. Check your email.
I checked when I first woke up, which is unusual. But
no. I think it's
Google or Yahoo. Do you think?
I think he sent it
Call it
to
Agile Ventures. Okay.
hrfields@gmail.com.
I think. Let's see.
Oh, they went to that. He went to the pool at Agile Ventures.
Oh. I think I have that forwarded to you. Is that correct?
Yeah. It looks like it's gone through to. I think he
yeah.
CC'd it to me, so it's gone through to hrfields@gmail.com.
Right on. I mean, I wish we'd been able to, have more of an effect. I feel like we've kind of been waddling around, but.
Well, I think we're making. I think we've done a lot of work, and now we're in the process of deploying parts of it, and hopefully we'll reap the benefits. We'll reap the rewards of the work that's been done. But did you see the email from?
Yep.
Amanda?
Yeah, I'm reading it.
Yeah, good stuff. But I was just gonna. I saw that because I was just thinking there. I don't know. You see, am I just a bad person because I can't stay focused on things? But I have this thing of like, I think of a thing and then I go, okay, sending that. Right. Focus. So that's an interesting side. That's where all of the stuff the code is being submitted is there. It actually, one thing that's like a huge feature request from like Richard Ilson and every other instructor is they'd like to be able to. The instructors would like to be able to see the code that gets submitted.
Right.
And in principle, I mean, this is like out in the future, the grader could be returning with its results as well. It could return, and here's the code you submitted.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you see the log files are right there, and.
Right. I mean, it could return that, which would be a great sanity check and various other things. Anyway.
Harder for archives, maybe, but.
Yeah. For the archives, well, I think the thing is that the archive and everything comes across actually as a edX like S3 stored link. So it could just be the link. I mean, it could be that as well as the result, it says, okay, you submitted, link to your code on S3, and here's your stuff. I don't know how long I imagine that edX throws away the S3 things after but that would be interesting to investigate. Anyway.
Yeah.
But it could also be a setting that we would have for certain homeworks that if we knew that the homework submission was going to be relatively short, that we could include what
we
they've
have
submitted.
to get access to the. I mean, for the professor to the S3, or for the student to the S3.
I don't think the S3 requires. I think they're open. I think it's security through obscurity. I think if they have the link, I think they may. But I may be wrong about that. Anyway, that's a side issue. So I guess what. But anyway, so this is where we would set up the Spork thing, which we don't have to do immediately. The first order of play. I think in principle, Control A 0. Let's just to control. No, this seems to be running. I don't know why this one is staying up and the other one didn't. Control A detach. So in principle here, so if we go cd rag and we go nano conf autograders YAML. So currently, people are hitting the Ruby intro specs here like this. And I guess sensibly what I would do here for now testing the... Did you... I guess that's an interesting question there. So for you on the... we go to nano We don't run in rag. CD rag, nano config autograders.yaml. My screen's all gone dead. That's because hot corners. Right. Right. So you've left it at least. I mean, not particularly big deal because this is a separate queue. You left these assignment descriptions intact, which is just fine. I think for my purposes here on the production grader,
Right.
what I should be doing is removing. I mean, to the extent that we're going to use a separate queue here. I mean, ultimately, where we're hoping to be, is there 4 parts to this one? I guess there is. Where we're hoping to be is that all of this config will end up in. Do you remember me explaining this before? All of this XML config will ultimately go inside the XML. Sorry, all of this config, which is not XML, it's key pair. All of this nested key pair stuff will go inside the JSON in the XML thing in edX. You know what I mean? Right, right. Which would be a major refactoring of the grader, but would make things a lot simpler. In particular, you know, the ability for people to set the due dates. But so what we've also got here that we kind of need to be doing in parallel is we need to work out the due date for the homework 0, which we could discover by going to where's it gone? The syllabus, which is view the live thing. So many things. I don't know how much longer my brain will be able to cope with all of this. It's
It's a lot, man. Definitely take it easy and pace yourself. And
yeah, no. Well, I'm not looking at my computer now until 9:30 in the morning. I'm gradually hemming in the I'm trying to make my family time totally screen free, and I'm definitely doing that. But I think partly the challenge with this is that the graders are in just such a shambles to start with. We're gradually, hopefully we can keep almost drying things out to the point that it's actually relatively easy to understand what's going on. That would be the ideal situation. But by the way, that's I was very pleased with that session last night, which I think you just caught the tail end of for the MOOC thing. We had a lot of viewers and
oh yeah,
yeah. All right, so you were there May 15th at 23:59.
that's for homework 0. Let me make sure.
There we go. Yeah, that looks right.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've seen this, but so what we have to do here is we then have to do this incredibly human unfriendly. We have to do 2014, so that's 05. May the 15th and then it's not 23. Is it 23:59 now? I forget is that in UTC? There was a whole thing before where I had to do this in
seconds.
Well, yeah, 59:59. I think the problem is unclear to me. Like, if the timestamp that we get from the edX servers is Boston time or is UTC or not. And so there were some people who ended up complaining because then they had sort of a problem because that they I think the implication of this is that it needed to be UTC. I thought it was Boston time and it wasn't, and so I'd put in as like 19:59, and then some people got cut off early. So okay, something like that. Okay. And then Control K, Control Y doesn't. Yeah, what yanks it? Oh, it's uncut text. Control U, and so I can put in a deadline for those 3, like that. And then we've got assignment part 1. We've got the homework 1, and that's going to be due on the 22nd. And so here, and so this is actually another reason why they had to have separate graders previously, is because you couldn't specify the due dates. We had this great guy from Greece who was doing a whole master's in like cloud computing systems and stuff and whatever, and he fixed that all up for us, and that was great. And then disappeared again. But anyway, and in telling you the story, I've forgotten. It's 22nd, right? 7 days there. Right, that makes sense. Is that right? That sounds about right. Okay. 22. Right. Control A, Control K, Control U, Control U, Control U, Control U. I guess it would also be a good time to be testing an earlier date to see that it gives the right scores. And anyway, so he also, this guy from Greece, he set it up so that what happens with the running grader is that when it re-wakes up, it automatically reloads the config, so you don't have to start and stop the grader. So that's a huge improvement on before.
Yeah.
So that's the homework one there. I guess actually I should just have that up. And what I should look for here is, okay, for our homework, we've got homework one there. Is there a submission that can kill that? Don't need that component. That's just a description of the things to do. Now let's look at the code skeleton, which you may need to update. And oh my goodness, like that. And then, okay. So do we have somewhere down here? Right. So actually, I can just cut the heads off those like that, and the Q is now this one, like so. And so we save that. So that's the palindromes fun with strings thing. Replace that with that draft. View live.
Got to cut out for a minute here. I'll be right back.
Sure, no worries. And let's. Now I'm going to go GitHub homework. Let's microcode homeworks. Let's go to Sourcebook homeworks. So that's homeworks. We want Rail. We want Ruby, calisthenics. Let's do that by name. Ruby. Calisthenics solutions. What is this first one? Is it fun with strings? Probably. It is. Yes. Okay. So let's check on that. Now, what's going on there? Yes. I'm so pleased that they're talking about Ruby rather than. Oops. Bum, 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 bum. I shouldn't get involved there. All right, so that looks like that passed. Okay. Did we have changes to homework one somewhere along the line? Was there? Are you back, Paul? I guess that I don't have to worry about that immediately. Guess what I should be doing sensibly here is updating this. That's part 2. Save. Replace that with the draft. View live. Dum, 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 dum. Choose file, solution. We did change something to the dessert thing. I think I remember. What did we do? I don't remember. Okay, so while that's thinking about it, I can go over here. Delete the discussion component from the old system. Go in there. We're going to get the that already is on the old grader. Close it with draft. View live. Hey,
You know what I was just remembering was on Logger itself, which Frag Logger is almost just a plain Ruby Logger.
right.
There's a weekly, monthly, daily setting
Is there?
for rolling over the log files.
Okay, that's good to know. Did I just? That's kind of weird. It looked to me here like one of the had it already been edited, or did I just? Did I kind of?
Maybe reopened one that you had already edited.
Yeah. Just gonna go in here. So this is the meta program. I think this one is a very tricky homework. Uh,
Oh, with history or something?
yeah, that meta programming thing. I just totally don't give that to my. Anyway, so that one worked. That one worked. That one worked. Yeah. So all the homework's grading for homework one on the new grader. That's cool. Um, I was just remembering. I'm fairly sure that I remember we updated something in terms of the dessert homework, or that was discussed in one of the Beta Salsa meetings.
Oh, yeah. Um, we wanted to have a brownie or something that would
There
have
was right. There was some
calories.
sort of something going on, wasn't there? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, just since I'm here, and it was a thing that got me into trouble last week, I'm just going to finish updating. Well, what I'm going to do. Quick. Oh, did I? I'll just quickly update these chat things, which need to have bum, 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 to get to the new chat thing. I really think I don't know. We need a. I think the world needs an integrated chat solution really badly. Um, it's I mean I think it is funny. Some people really don't like the chat. I don't know. I just think it's like I have no idea if it improves the what the students learn from the course. For managing the course, I think it's just I don't know how I'd manage at all if I didn't have the chat. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, things would be going wrong. You wouldn't hear about it, and
Right, right. Um,
you'd have to watch your email.
yeah, or I mean, I think there's obviously the forum. But it's the ability to catch somebody when they're on and sort of go with them step by step through what the issues are. That's just so
Yeah.
so important, so kind of makes all the difference.
Pairing.
Yeah. So chat there. Could you go and have a look and just maybe identify? Have we got some specific commits that that are changes to the homework one specs at all that we've
Right.
got hanging around anywhere? Okay, so here I've got the help thing there. Well, let's just edit that one while we're at it. Live chat editor HTML. Okay, okay. Save. Okay. So it's last year's help video. So one of the things that I may have to do is re-record that. And then, so what I'm going to have here as well is another. I'm going to have the pair programming component in the. Let's see, can I find that really well? I need to go to find. I want homework 0. I want homework. I also think I'm starting to wonder is if the people got really upset about the videos that they thought that I was asking them or we were asking them to submit a URL which included video of them, like personally, like that people would see their face or something.
Right.
Whereas actually, it's like, no, we have no interest in seeing your face. I mean, if you want to share this, that's great. But like, it's screen grab. It's just screen grab with audio, or even just the screen grab. I mean, just the animation of the process that you go through. But
Let's see. This is part 2 solution. 0 is a multiple of 4.
Yeah, no, so that's kind of pulled in onto the...
Yeah, these are already in somewhere.
I think they're at least on the full 2013 thing, which might be what we have set up on the greater there.
So I don't see any commits on that. Let me look back in tracker.
Yes, search for dessert or something. I feel like that was what it was related to.
Cupcake.
Right.
It just says the code is pasted in here. It says add this to the dessert spec. Excuse me.
Ah. Is it there? What's the status of it? Is it saying it says it's finished?
Yes.
But it doesn't say it's delivered.
Indeed, it's on. Do you think you might have it?
Possibly, yeah. We'll come back around to that in a second.
Or I'll look because you would have checked it in. I'll check on your repo actually.
I guess I'm not going to read it. Anyway.
Oh, Autograder.
Open here. Note, you do not. Note, we are hoping to see screencasts plus text chat, or even better, audio chat, but video from webcams are not required. I don't know, these people.
Mr. Johns thought that also people were, like they thought 3 was a lot. That
3 separate videos.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I saw that being said. I mean, people can paste the same link if they've done them in off one. Yeah. I mean, it's partly to kind of like, you might do it in 3 separate sessions or not. But anyway, again, I mean, it's we clearly need a whole FAQ about it for addressing all of these concerns and these issues. I mean, which is a great learning experience for
It is.
Okay. So I need to let me just a copy of that one. Okay. So in principle, then with that part 1. Yeah. I mean, the interesting thing, I don't know if other MOOCs are trying this at the moment. Sometimes I think, we're being really innovative and on the edge and this things, and sometimes, well, maybe someone else has already done it and solved it in a much more streamlined fashion than we have. I don't know, but it just seems like it's so ripe. It's so like you can do it. Like now, half the world is on the internet, and Google Hangouts is available for free to everyone in most countries. I mean, that's annoying. It doesn't work everywhere, but do you know what I mean? Like, It seems like it's too good an opportunity to waste.
It's huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of, no doubt, there's a lot of big fish involved. edX seems like it's, kind of the bully of the block.
You think so?
I mean, maybe not in a negative way, but just in the big.
Oh yeah, I mean they're definitely a big player. Yeah. I mean I think that's clear. I think it's ironic that their software comes across as less polished than Udacity and Coursera. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's just I have yet to hear anybody say, "Oh, there's this great feature that edX has that I wish we had in Coursera." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But maybe that's partly because I'm spending all my time in edX, and I don't I miss those things that the people are saying in all of the Coursera and Udacity forums. But
I think
yeah,
we get a lot of comments, especially about the forums on those other learning management systems or whatever they
right,
are.
being better than our lot over here. Which I think Stack Exchange potentially addresses, but actually Stack Exchange has brought its own set of problems. I mean, I mean this, and that, you know, we're kind of lucky here, or it's an interesting position to be in, because Stack Exchange, Stack Exchange is a trial. It's being trialed with our course with the 169, and I guess they're going to be looking for me to report back to them to say, how did it go? Should we do this with all edX courses? What's the, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know, but not that they talk to me about these things, but anyway. Okay, so in principle, then we've actually now got. I mean, with the exception of that, because I'm clearly not going to do it today, I'm not going to revise this. I mean, I guess there's a question here we've got about the code skeleton, that whether that's up to date or not. I guess the question, hmm. I mean, I guess we can feel reasonably assured that you know, these have all graded. So at least that it appears to be working superficially for this. I guess we should be setting up, you know, the full production grader, but I guess it feels like to be like we probably don't want to start playing around with major changes on the staging grader until we've got. It almost feels like we want a develop grade. Do you know what I mean? Like it almost feels like we want to be playing like the particular thing of having the staging grader is if the staging grader is as closely matched to the production grader as possible, then what that means is if there's a problem with the production grader, we can try and see if we can what's the word? We can we can reproduce it on staging and check that really fixes it and doesn't have nasty knock-on effects before we push it onto production. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if we go here and we say, so we're on full 2013 here, and I guess what we want to be doing now is cleaving this onto Spring. I mean, in some ways, actually, the changes that I made, like the old grader is now going to be slightly out of sync with the old course XML descriptions and so on. So sensibly, almost this would now become the base for Spring 2014, rather than it being rather than that having been cloned off develop, if you know what I mean. So I'm kind of. It feels like we should be here doing this, I think. Right? Because if we now, I mean, the thing to look at now is, and we've got, I guess we've got, yeah, so git check out Spring 2014, which I'm feeling like we might want to, so I guess well, my question is, in some ways, is now, if we go to GitHub and we look at Sarsbook homework. So the question was, did we do anything, or have we got anything outstanding that relates to not those closed ones?
I mean, some of them kind of relate to you know, the skeleton and that type of thing.
Right. But do any of them relate to homework 1? That's the key thing.
Right.
And I think that the answer is that these ones don't. I mean, for the homeworks here, did we?
I looked through there. I didn't see.
No, I'm also not seeing though the changes that were the homework 0 changes. Wasn't there the like sum to n?
Yeah, it's there. Is it the next page maybe?
Oh, is there more on the page? Oh, right. Okay. Ah, okay. Ah, look. That's homework 1.
Rock, paper, scissors, yeah. And update sum to n.
But this was an update to the XML. But that's so we can put that in place. But so Ruby intro part 2 solution, updating sum to n. Okay, so that's what that's telling us there. So have we got? Well, I guess that's a commit. But it should be. So that's just telling us that in the rock paper scissors here. This was Rose saying it was confusing. Where's the sensitive? Okay. So Rose saying there it should be. She was suggesting case sensitive, and then say specifically it should provide that message. Here, so okay, case sensitive. Let's just pop that in there. Case sensitive. The method should raise a rock, paper, scissors strategy error exception and provide the message strategy must RPS. Okay. Right. So that's updated. I guess what I'm going to try. I guess I would try and do tomorrow morning for me. Or no, I guess I could do it tomorrow afternoon if I can get that other stuff out of the way. Yeah, because I don't have to release the homeworks until. Yeah, it doesn't have to be ready to go out until the end. So we could do a more reviews of this tomorrow in the slot. I mean, I feel bad, not to be able to do more stuff with Rose. Okay, so, but so what was this? You found in Tracker there?
Yeah, it's Cupcake is the
Cupcake.
spec. It's third from the bottom
Is the
on your
key,
left side.
is the secret phrase.
Yes.
Right, but so, okay, and we didn't add that, or what happened to that?
I can't
Now was
find
this?
it.
No, and I don't now.
I looked on Rose's repo. I looked on your repo. I didn't see it. But
I'm trying to think. Was there? I think this was. I think this. The issue with this was that the specs. I think Rose was arguing, or we were agreeing that the specs were not rigorous enough. Is that
the cutoff for healthy was 200 calories,
right?
but the only test that was being run was on 400 calories, something like that. Like cake was 400, and then so we wanted to have something closer to the actual border, the boundary.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That sounds about right.
I guess we can just change the spec and not, just.
Yeah.
Add,
I mean, that seems reasonable. Yeah. And it may have been that we finally worked that out after having done the walkthrough, but then we didn't make any changes to the code, which is
nothing got checked in necessarily.
Yeah. I'm just trying to. I think that's my copy.
Oh, is it HW1? I was probably looking at your wrong repo then. That's right.
Although this is now, have I actually now blown that away? It's like not able to see in there for me. I've okay. I will need to come back to tell. I've got to update the TA course as well. I guess I can do that later on tonight. Has that now got nothing in it? I think it has now got nothing in it. I think I blew away. I've now got it. I have got it in here, haven't I? Right. But I blew away the old one. That I think. So, okay. So this, which one is this one? That's the Sarspot one. Yeah, I was just going to go and look at. Open documents. Oh, just come back to the latest place, and then homework. I put that into homework archive. That's what I did it before. And so this is, yeah, just open that. Yeah, okay. That's my version of it. And so let's have the project back, please. Okay. Ah, it's still calling it kind of like, it's still giving it the name in the background. This is Ruby Calisthenics, Autograder, Dessert Spec. Right, we did not add that there. Now, and I wonder if the thing to do, I mean, it seems like it's not a requirement that we add this spec.
Right.
At this stage. It seems like it might be sensible. I'm just wondering about what's the ideal workflow for this.
I mean, we could leave it the way it is, really. You know, with zero risk, we could add this. You know, one piece. Might have to take a look at the documentation.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm fairly confident that this. Yeah.
Like we shouldn't. I don't think we should change cake from 400 to 200. I think it would be better to add something.
I think this is the kind of thing. Yeah, probably given that we're a bit close to the wire. Like if everything else was going incredibly smoothly, then yeah. But it seems like that would be good to add, but it doesn't seem to be required. So I guess where we are is we've got. I've at least called these branches here Spring 2014. I guess if I kind of, I wonder here if I do git push origin Spring 2014 like this, and there's an existing branch that's different, I guess it might just fail. Let's see what it does. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, right. I think what I want to do is delete the existing Spring 2014 branch for RAG. Because what we would, yeah, anyway. No, I mean, I guess the sensible thing here, can I just delete? I don't think I can just delete. This is from RAG. I can't just delete a branch from an existing branch on here from the GitHub repo.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, can I? How would I?
Where it's 13 branches right there.
Oh, here.
Yep, you got it.
Ah, okay. Oh, cool. Awesome. I think that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure that's what I wanted to do.
Wow, that's nice.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. So we've now got our Spring 2040 book. Now, I guess sensibly, the thing to do here on this grader is now to go through and do the things that you had done on the staging grader from our. Then, so basically, you were able to do this, and
yep.
You were as a result, and you didn't have to change it.
I had to do create a new gem set. I couldn't use that existing one.
Oh, really?
Because of I think dependencies. It was just hanging when I would try to create the gem set. So what I did was a bundle install and then gem set export.
Huh.
I guess I should have written that down, not just in my notes, but in your.
Yeah, it's nice to have. I mean, if you can type history in
Yeah.
the thing, is, if you can go into the screen
Oh, sure. If
that
I
you were
can't
in and
get
type
up.
history, then you can get the sequence of commands that you needed to do. Um,
Let's see. I don't know if I can get back to my screen. That's the only thing. Let's see. Screen minus R, hopefully.
I can't see your screen at the moment, but
Oh yeah, I'll reshare it. Let's see, pdd.tty host to resume one of them. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, so which one do I pick? Guess it's.
yeah, that's. I mean, that's the other thing about having the. You get the labeled. You can probably label them.
I wonder if I
Uh,
can just do screen restore -1 or -2,
you could try.
something like that.
Uh,
Okay. So TDD screen minus. That must be this thing. Oh, not screen. Screen. Okay. So this is one of them.
yeah, that looks like the a spork.
Sporky.
So what you could do there is you can do Control Z
Yeah. Gotcha. And then up arrow.
and history. I mean, I would just type history, and then
Okay.
you'll get the most recent set of stuff in a
In the end
flash.
tailing of the file almost, yeah.
There you go. And so then you can just sort of, if that's the sequence, but so that doesn't mention. Oh, you got gem set further up there, haven't you? Yeah.
See, that's no scrolling, that's right. I'll just maximize my screen.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so I mean, I'm going back to. I mean, it's still doing things in the.
I mean, maybe
Uh,
I was just too wasn't patient enough, but I definitely waited for quite a few minutes on like
sure.
the third and fourth line, and that was the other thing too, is like I control C'd it on one of them, so maybe that somehow did something bad because the next
Right.
time it didn't stop in that same place, it stopped earlier.
Right. Right. Haha.
Maybe it's running, in, I don't know, strange.
Gem list ninefold. 1.50. 1.5.0. Just installed. Never used before. Not sure about public key. Don't think I have uploaded that. Is there a, sorry, this is a reset for ninefold. Is there a walkthrough doc on what I need to do? Okay. Yeah, okay, there's that there here. That's kind of going on there in the background. Okay. Right. So you've got the full set of sequence that you did. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, you can see I tried a couple times.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway,
Uh,
just to definitely take a copy of that and store
yeah.
that somewhere, just so that we've got it for
Yeah.
reference.
Oh yeah, I yeah got that. Alrighty.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna have to step away for a bit, and I mean, like, do stuff with the family and so on. What I'm tempted to do in the first instance is leave this running here, um, just to see if it works as is. I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah. If it's still
Yeah.
turning over, even so, that's awesome.
It still seems it's gradually moving along. So I mean, and it may have encountered some sort of timeout. I guess this in import the gem set is actually doing bundle install behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So there's loads of network activity going on that might be futzing up and what have you.
Lots of opportunities for timed out.
Yeah. Mm, 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 okay. And I think. Yeah, well, what I will probably do is if I can try and finish up my HPU class tomorrow morning, and then switch back to working on this, and maybe do a complete work through of homework one in the later on tomorrow for me, which you and or Rose might be around for, or yeah, what I would like to have done here is I would like to have got the entire rest of this sequence done here, and then in principle you could have run tests for
Right.
homework 2, 3, and 4 on this. But yeah, we'll see. I'll have about half an hour later on this evening. I'll come back to this and see what we shall see.
Well, do you how many hours are you thinking from now? Like
It would be like about 4 hours from now.
4 hours. All right.
But I would it'll be late, and I shouldn't be making too much noise, so I'll probably stay on text chat and just let you. But that also maybe what you could do is if you could spend a little time uh what would be a great thing for you to do now is between now and then is if you could work on the staging grader and work on uh, shutting down the second screen, getting
Yep.
set up like this so you have the two screens
So I'm still not sure what I'm looking at here.
on here, this one.
So this, like, okay, I can see it's a screen because it's got the footer.
Right, it's got the footer, but notice on the footer it's got this 0 and 1 there.
Okay.
So I do Control A 0,
Right,
and that's my grader. I Control A 1,
right,
that's my spork.
right,
And I think we did Control A C was the command to create the thing.
right,
So, I mean, what you might want to practice doing is I mean, you could kill the grader and kill both the screens, kill the grader and the spork, and
right,
kill the screen sessions, and practice resetting it up from scratch,
right.
so to speak. Might also be useful to document. What would be very cool would be to have that, the precise, rather than me just saying here, this should be done in the second screen window, you could have this is the commands that you run in order to get it into a second screen window.
And
You,
then, I've been using the script tool, the Unix script command, to
okay.
record,
Yeah.
um,
Cool.
history, but also the output.
Yes.
And I was wondering, do you have a good way of like reviewing those files? Would that be useful or?
Yeah, having access to them is good. I don't know that I have a good way of managing them right
Yeah,
now. Um, yeah, someone's
I'll
coming in there.
I'll do it. And make a movie too or something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the key thing is that at least if you could, take down the staging grader,
Yep.
bring it back up, check to see whether you can get this working or some other combination or whatever, but try and make sure that everything is. The script maybe it will document every key press, and if you can, But yeah, I think the key thing is we want precise instructions about exactly how to bring it back up. I mean, almost if we could automate the process of bringing up the second screen, so that we didn't actually have to do it. If we could run a script and it would bring up the screen things and blah, 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 and everything,
Right.
and it would all just be there, that would be very, very
Cool.
cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. All right. I'll play with that.
Great. Good stuff. All right. Well, I'll leave the hangout running, and if I can't, if you keep working on this, keep recording, and yeah, I'll catch up with you before too long.
Well,
If I can speak in the hangout, I'll obviously come and say hi.
right on.
Yeah. All right. Bye for now.
Bye. Well, that was probably an hour of emailing that you didn't need to see recorded. Sorry about that. I think I will probably start a new Hangout to record um, installation of the graders and then subsequent scripting deployment. Talk to you later. Bye.